A while back, but just recently posted on the Sports Buffet podcast, you heard Dennis Carter go one-on-one with Bob Alvis. Dennis is one of those few birds that actually has called me out for a second time. He said, hey, I want another go at it. So we went one-on-one with Dennis Carter again. How did he do this time? Let's find out. One-on-one with Bob Alvis. Dennis Carter, ABC 13 Sports Director, on the Sports Buffet podcast.
You know, we post old podcasts on our YouTube site from Talking High School Sports, and back when we had the Sports Buffet podcast on our My Podcast site, and we did a one-on-one with Bob Alvis. And for those of you who don't know, it's 11 questions that don't really deal with, you know, what play did you run here, what did you think of that game. It's just 11 questions to let you get to know the coach, athlete, referee, whatever in sports. And Dennis Carter, I had him on back probably 5 or 6 years ago doing it. And Dennis wanted part 2, so here we are. What do you remember about part 1?
What I remember about part 1, Bob, is that you asked very tough questions, and I had to pause, and I couldn't give you quick answers. So I encouraged you. I said, Bob, let's do this thing again. I can do better. I want another try. So I'm glad you took my advice, and let's roll.
And it was at 12:45 at night that time we're doing it. As we record this, it's 12:44.
That's freakish. That's very freakish.
From what I heard on the first podcast, it was 12:45. It could have been give or take, but you know. So let's go again. And these are 11 different questions for the most part.
I hope not as tough as the others.
We'll let you be the judge of that.
Okay.
Question number 1: favorite cartoon as a kid?
Oh boy, these things are tough, Bob. Favorite cartoon as a kid?
Most people, I think, would say weird, freakish, everything else. But go ahead. You prefer tough? I'll take tough.
Favorite cartoon as a kid? I'm trying to remember cartoons, Bob. I'm an old guy. It's been a lot of years since I watched cartoons, and none are really coming to mind right off the bat. I guess I like the Road Runner. Beep beep.
Yeah, I like the sound effect. That's even better.
I like the Road Runner.
Can you do that again?
Beep beep.
All right, Road Runner always was a winner too. Poor Coyote. No one ever pulled for him.
Hey, you can't pull against the Road Runner. No way.
Question number 2. Now, this is actually dealing with your job. Most memorable moment or interview in your career?
An interview, I sat down with Howard Cosell back when I first came to WSET back in the early 80s. He actually came to Lynchburg for some reason, and I was able to sit down and talk with him, and that was just an interview that I will never forget, because I had an impression of Howard Cosell as kind of this angry, tough guy that you would not want to talk to. And after I interviewed him, he changed my mind completely. He was a nicest guy, friendly, just a different guy than we would normally see on television.
Not everybody would probably agree with you, though, definitely on that. But I'm glad you had a good experience.
I did. I really did.
Question number 3. Superpower you would most like to have?
Speed.
I'd
love to have speed. I'd like to be able to go out there and beat people in 100-meter races, and be able to run down balls on the tennis courts. And I'd love to have speed. That's the power that I want.
I got you. Question number 4. Person from history or sports, whatever, that you would most like to interview?
Person I would most like to interview.
And I can tell you're a pro, D, because when you want to stall or pause a little bit, you repeat the question. I like that.
That's why I'm fishing in my mind. Who would I like to interview? One person I'd like to interview that I've never talked to, Tiger Woods. Off the top of my head, he would be a person I would like to interview.
But no questions about backing out of the driveway or anything like that?
Oh, I'd ask him. He may not answer them, but I would definitely ask them.
That may be the last question for the interview. Question number 5. Stuck on a desert island. Now, last time you were stuck on a desert island, we wanted to know the 3 movies you wanted with you. But this time we want to know the 3 foods that are with you. Foods, meal, it doesn't have to be like, just can of beans, can of tuna, can of, you got where I'm going here.
I'd like some spaghetti. I love spaghetti. I would like some shrimp which may be close by if I'm near water. Shrimp, spaghetti, and I love bread. So if I had some great bread somewhere close by that I could eat on for weeks, I love bread. So
load up on those carbs. I like it.
Yeah, I love carbs.
Last movie seen in the theater.
Boy, that's tough. It was a sports movie, and I can't think of which one it was.
Chariots of Fire.
No, it wasn't that long ago. It was... Oh, man.
I can help you, D, if you can get me on the track.
Well, it was about probably 3 months ago.
Interview recorded August 2012.
I take that back. It was not the last movie, but it was the movie concerning baseball. Moneyball. That was not the last movie I've seen, but one of the last I've seen in a theater. So it's been a while.
Do you not remember the last movie, or are you too embarrassed?
I can't remember the last movie. I know it's been probably 3 or 4 months, and usually I don't go that long between movies. So I like to go to movies. That's one of my hobbies.
I think it was probably High School Musical or something. You're just not.
No, it was not. I don't care for musicals.
You're just not letting it out. Moneyball, 2 thumbs up?
Oh, absolutely. Loved Moneyball.
Next question. If you weren't doing sports on TV, what would you be doing?
I think I would be working for a university in some sort of sports information capacity. I'd have to be doing something sports related, or I think it'd have to be sports related. If it was radio, before I got into television, I worked 4 years in radio. I love radio.
Down in Danville, I believe.
It sure was. I love radio. I could see myself doing some radio work. Actually, even did some sports writing for a newspaper for a time. So I think it'd have to be in sports, either radio or newspaper.
Hidden talent. Now, we asked this question before. And you said tennis. So tennis may not be used again.
I don't have any hidden talents.
That is a lie. I know it for a fact.
I really don't. Putt-putt.
I was going to say, you have that. Now, give us a little background on the putt-putt.
I played putt-putt as a kid growing up in Danville. I used to go out on Saturday mornings. The owner and operator of the putt-putt had a thing called the challenge ladder. You would, and it was a good thing on his part because he knew he would get little kids with little money to come out there, and you would be put on a challenge ladder, and each week you got to challenge the person above you in the rankings. And if you beat that person, you moved up the challenge ladder. And by the time you got up to the top of the challenge ladder, you could win a trophy, which was about 2 inches tall. But by the time you won that trophy, you probably paid $30, $40 to win that little trophy. But as a kid, winning a trophy, playing sports, it's nothing better.
Did you win it?
Oh yeah, I won several.
But are you the best putt-putter in the Carter family?
No, I am not. My son passed me probably 10 years ago or more.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys have played in some father and son tournaments together.
We have, and we've actually won some father and son tournaments back in the day, as we say, when Ryan probably his better years were 14, 15. He actually won the national championship, the Junior Putters Association National Championship one year.
And he turns 21 in the fall, so he's now washed up, right?
He is washed up, but he's actually still plays putt-putt from time to time, and I do too. I actually play with a seniors group on Monday morning out at the Lynchburg Putt-Putt.
I can't believe this seniors talk. We have to move on now. 3 people in history are going to dinner with you. Who are they? They can be alive. I'm not talking. You can't take like me, Jermaine Farrell and Scott Wilson per se. You got to kind of get into some names here.
Okay.
Even though those are impressive names, especially me.
They really are. Let's invite Jeff Gordon of NASCAR fame. I like Jeff Gordon.
Okay.
I'm a Jeff Gordon fan. Who else shall we invite to the party?
I've got some names in case you get stagnant.
Let's invite Coach K.
Okay.
Mike Krzyzewski. I'd like to have him along.
We'll wait till he gets back from London before we schedule a dinner.
Wait for him to get back. And LeBron James. We'll keep it in the basketball family.
He better pick up the tab. That's all I'm saying. Here, Gordon has got some money.
Yeah, they got more money than I've got, so they better pick up the tab, and they better let me get anything I want as well.
Now, I actually had hidden talent written again twice, but I'm not going to make you do that. But I am going to throw this one out. Most impressive entry in your cell phone or Rolodex?
You know, Bob, I don't really have that many numbers in my cell phone because I'm still trying to master the cell phone.
But the Rolodex is big. I've seen that. The Rolodex sits on your desk. It's large,
right.
Also known as your calendar.
Right.
So
I do have some numbers written on that.
Not that I'm snooping.
You know, I do have I have Ward Burton's number on the list. Ward's actually a friend of mine who I can call, and if I ever want to know something racing wise or ask him about his son, you know, and how he's doing in the Camping World Truck Series, I can call Ward Burton.
Or if you want to know how to conserve some wildlife or what's the goodbye at Schul's, Ward's also there for you.
Ward's the guy. Yep.
So,
I can't really think of any other, you know, great numbers that I've got. How about you?
My wife. That's my best number.
That's a good answer. Good answer if she's listening to that.
Well, she's going to be now because I'm going to tell her, hey, Suzanne, we talked about you on the podcast. Final question. Like we've talked about here, the Olympics are going on right now. The Olympic sport that you could compete in, best at?
My best Olympic sport.
They do not have putt-putt in the Olympics.
They don't, do they? They should.
How about badminton?
No, I don't think I'd do well at badminton. Don't think I'd do well at basketball.
We're certainly not going to put you in a pool because
we don't know how to swim, so don't put me in a pool.
If you've listened to part one of this podcast, Dennis does not know how to swim, so I'm going to take out kayaking probably just in case a tragedy were to happen and you hit a rock.
You know, I'll say track and field because back in the day I did run a little track. I do have a little bit of speed.
Did they retire your singlet at GW?
They did not. I would say track and field. I've got a little bit of speed. Yeah.
I would have thought tennis.
You know, I didn't even think about tennis, but I'm not good at tennis.
Well,
I like to play tennis, but I'm probably a better runner than I am a tennis player.
Well, you can take Roger Novak, I'm sure, any day of the week. Probably both of them at the same time. But now this, you know, interesting. Now, can you beat me in a race, or could you beat Andy Shepard, our good friend in tennis? Questions abound.
We've got to do it. Andy and I keep saying we're going to play tennis. We haven't done it yet, so
he's afraid. But you know, we'll get. And if you don't know who these people are, inside jokes people, when you come to work on Langhorne Road, then you'll know some more people. But D, as always, we appreciate it, and get that cell phone working so next time we can have that cell phone question a little bit more legitimate.
I can give you some better numbers if I think about it next time.
Well, we can't let you do that but so much because then it takes away the spontaneity, but we'll do it again in about 5 years.
Okay, that's a deal.
Dennis Carter, one-on-one with Bob Alvis, always an experience.